Hi, welcome to Hot Comics. I'm Lisandra Vazquez.
And I'm Brandi Unger.
And today we have the very funny
Teresa Lee.
Woo, she is a touring comic.
Yep.
She is a podcaster and a budding astrologer.
We found that out and we're so excited for you guys to hear
So without
her.
further ado, enjoy Teresa Lee. All right, so welcome
back.
Welcome to the Hot Comics podcast.
Thank you so much. It's literally, we were saying this before, but I am literally so hot in Atlanta that I feel like I took the wrong premise. You know, I was like sweating so much. I'm like, yeah, hot. I didn't know I was. You did tell me it was gonna be on camera. I fully forgot, and I was like, that's fine. My voice is
committing to the bit.
Yeah.
We love that. We love that here.
I love that commitment. So you brought us a hot topic today, and that is
astrology.
Ooh,
we like astrology.
We love astrology. I'm wearing my Virgo necklace. Didn't know.
I love it. I'm a Virgo moon. Yes.
She's an organized person who doesn't like other people.
I'm a Scorpio sun, Cancer rising, Virgo moon, so I plan my revenge through Excel spreadsheets. You know, that's no.
We love Excel in this room.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially as a Virgo.
No, I love astrology, and it's one of those things like, duh, I'm from LA, like look at my haircut. But the new thing that I feel like is interesting is like there's so much talk about metaphysical, like self-discovery, and there's a lot of crossover now with science and neuroscience and the like neuroplasticity crossing over, not directly with astrology, but way more into the world of like the metaphysical, where it used to be so like eschewed by the science community.
Yeah.
And I feel like now there's a lot more, like, no matter what research comes out, the word astrology still triggers some people, like, especially online. Like when I make any jokes or talk about stars, I get like reply guys. And I think that it's actually a trigger. Like first I thought they were just being bitches, but I think that they can't fathom a reality where any of it's real, which is wild because the stars are real. Like,
yeah, they physically are there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And we live on a planet that is affected by other planets.
Yes. And don't even get me started, because I think people hear astrology, they think horoscopes in 17 mag, which is where I started, getting into it.
It's a great, not a bad, not a horrible thing, but yes, agreed, same.
Which is not, but that's not real. Like I used to write some of those for like a blog too. That's completely fake.
I feel like I just got my dreams crushed.
Oh really? Oh, I'm sorry. Some of them could be real. I mean, some of them really do their charts, but it's all interpretive, right?
Right.
And also, it's a business, so magazines want to sell copies.
Yeah.
100%.
Astrologers might be a little more legit because they want to sell themselves, but basically, if your teenage audience wants to hear about their crush, you're gonna talk about their crush. Like,
Yeah.
That's true. Fine.
Be like, is my crush going to fall in love with me this month?
yeah,
Yes.
they don't want to hear like, oh, you're gonna have to like process some trauma that you won't really fully process till you're 31, but it's gonna start now, and then you're on a journey, because that's what the stars do. They chart out orbits, and some of them last like 28 years. And so they're like, you're starting the beginning of a cycle in which you have a lot of like hardships that are going to solve generational trauma. Like sometimes it's like that, where it's like, you're going to deal with shit that your grandparents dealt with, but you're going to deal with it better. And like, imagine a 17-year-old being like, is my crush going to ask me to homecoming?
I just wanted to know if Andy Trinkle and I were going to get married.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. It's okay.
There's still time.
Yeah. I'm
Mr. Trinkle.
my 28-year cycle is still going.
I have a theory though, that
Okay.
boys or men who hate astrology are just like boys who aren't allowed to be afraid of the dark. And that's why they're still afraid of stars. And I'm not saying this to shame those boys, because sometimes I really feel like, and I don't know if like you guys get this if you talk about astrology, and I don't know if it's because like I just bait people sometimes, like because sometimes I'll just say I'm a dumb little bitch, and then I sometimes get like men's rights activist, because I used to blog for a website, and I did an article about the red pill, and so sometimes they'll still like come for me. So sometimes I'll bait them. I mean, it's not great, but it's my coping mechanism. But yeah, they get really upset, like to a point where I used to think they were just trying to yell at me, and then I think that they're actually upset. Like, and that made me think maybe they really were just never allowed to like explore the outer. And that fully terrifies them. It's just like this nebulous darkness out there. And the fact that there might be something out there that knows them better than they know themselves, like scares them, I think.
I think you just solved so many issues.
Ooh, I should just bring you on all my first dates when people are like, so you believe all that?
I mean, I read my boyfriend's tarot cards for 4 hours once during pandemic. And we didn't try. It wasn't on purpose. Like, I thought it'd be funny to try to read his tarot. And we were just like hanging out. And then I was like, what question do you want to ask? And then he asked, are we going to stay together past the pandemic? So I was like, well, now we're going to do a full ass reading.
He asked that? Hell yeah.
You know, that'd be funny. He's an
Love
Aries,
him.
so.
So you have a boyfriend.
So we're still together.
So
yes.
you have a boyfriend.
Yes, he is a hot boyfriend.
We let at Hot
Hot
Comics.
boyfriend.
Yes, I call him he's a hot boy, like you know, hot boy, like works out, has hot girlfriends, goes to music festivals, like that sort of thing.
The energy.
Yeah, it's definitely very surprising that we're together to me, because that's never, like, I've always just been in like unhealthy relationships. But no, I met him on Hinge. He's actually a rocket scientist, so I swear to God, like, the algorithm wants me to go to space. It really does.
Yeah, you got to check out the stars.
I know, it's like trying to put us together. But no, he is a hot boy, and I realize having hot girlfriends, I'm comfortable with that now. But I used to get really jealous because I used to be with guys who were not secure and would like use them to triangulate. But he has all these hot girls that he's like, he loves, and he's like so friendly, and it models how kind he is. And I realize, like, they are there to give him advice about how to deal with me, you know, like they are my allies. Like, you know, when I'm being difficult or hard to read, because, you know, I'm complicated, I'm a woman. His hot, confident women, you know, friends, the female friends around him, they are able to just like give him the advice, let him know why I'm mad, you know, help him edit his text messages, like tell him how to get me a nice gift. So I love that for them and him. And I'm like, please hang out with them, take their bikini pictures, whatever, you know, get that attention and flirting in, you know, I don't need to be there to talk to you all the time. Like, you need a lot of other girls who want to, like, so it's nice. I like to outsource my data plan.
He's fly like his tribe, you know?
Yeah.
So is he like your first boyfriend? Like, tell us a little bit about your dating history.
You said first hot boyfriend.
He's my, and whenever I say that, I don't mean that as a dig to my exes, okay? I mean, like, he's like a hot boy. Like, he would describe himself, well, not that he'd describe himself that way, but I think he wouldn't disagree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like a type of person who's very confident and being like, I want to be a hot boy. And I don't judge anyone who's not. But I would say, like, I dated comics in the past, and, you know, I found them hot, but that's not the energy they necessarily put out.
They led with personality.
Yeah. Well, they were sad boys. And sad girls.
There's just different types.
I've dated hot girls, but it's a little different because girls don't get so competitive. I feel like we're excited when we're around other hotties.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We feed off of each other's energy.
Yeah.
So it's nice to, I don't know, there's something nice about being with a guy who I'm traditionally feel like I always have to be like the masculine energy.
Yeah.
And I totally actually end up feeling like I'm more comfortable letting out my queerness and masculine energy with my boyfriend. He's straight and he's cis, but he's very like supportive. So
he's with it.
Like one time I wore, because most of the pandemic, we started dating right before we went into lockdown. So I like like February 2020. So, you know, a lot of like just Friday night fake dates at home where we turn on music and dance around. And, you know, I try to dress up sometimes because I wanted to like go out. So it was like my way of like, you know, wooing him because it was early on. And then as we got more comfortable and we started being able to see friends, there was like one time I remember I put on like a men's jacket. Well, like I wear a lot of like men's shirts, like, you know, buttons up clearly, but I wasn't like wearing it to hang out with him. And then one day I like put on this like shirt that had like these crabs on it. And it was like a collar button up. I thought it was cute, but then he like was like, where are you going? And I just thought it was so funny because the way he asked it was like, kind of like, where are you going dressed like that? Like the way if you're like wearing a short skirt or something. And he's always so like, you look so hot when I'm like in slutty clothes. But all of a sudden I was dressed like I'm going to a lesbian book club. And he's like, where are you going?
I mean, that's his competition, he feels like. That's,
and I was like, you're right, I'm going to see my queer friends, but don't worry.
You're still my hot boyfriend.
Yeah, so that was that's how supportive he is he is very in tune.
I mean, we all need one. I need one.
Yeah. And that's, so you mentioned that your dating history has been very, would you say that you've had a lot of variety in your dating history? You said now you're trying the hot boy flavor, and now like, are there any other flavors that you've tried in the past?
Oh gosh. Oh, that sounds so demeaning, but I know what you mean. No, it's funny. No, I love yum, yum, yum. Love this. You know, I think so. This is why it's interesting because someone recently asked me like why I don't identify as pan, because I used to say bisexual, but I feel like it's a little binary. So now I say queer, and to me, queer is just kind of like, it's like the crystal. It's like a color, but also it's not. You know, it's like you can see through it, but also it's a rainbow. You know, and that's how I feel, which is like I don't say I'm pan because I have really selective taste. So it's like pan to me is like I like everyone. I'm like I like almost nobody, but the people I like tend to fall in every category. You know, it's like and that's true for my food flavors too. Like I like really weird food. I like cinnamon toast or cinnamon raisin bagels, and I'll get cream cheese on it. I know, scallion cream cheese. I know, weird. It's weird.
Scallion cream cheese on a cinnamon raisin
bagel.
Yes, but I feel like that captures why I'm not pansexual. Like a pansexual
that captures
person,
a lot more, as I'm Jewish and I'm just like.
Yeah.
With the scallions.
Yeah. No, I'm a weirdo, but I don't think I was seeking weirdness. I grew up, you know, Taiwanese American, so there's a lot of like different spices in that cooking, but also in the Bay Area, so we have like a lot of Mexican food. And like just from a taste perspective, then I have this weird like penchant for like specific seasoning, you know?
Sure.
But yeah, when it comes to dating, I don't know if I have a type. Honestly, I used to say unavailable people, but it's no longer true since I've solved my trauma. But I will say my boyfriend is an anomaly from all the people I've dated.
Have you dated like couples before?
I have dated couples. Actually, the couple I dated a couple that I attribute my healing to because I got out of a toxic relationship and I was like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Can I swear?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing wrong? And then I was like, you know what? I need to break this pattern. Like, I don't trust myself. So instead of dating someone from the start, I'm going to date two people who are already in love, who want me in, they like want me in their relationship.
They want in the party.
It's like if, you know, when people want to have a baby, but the baby doesn't get to enjoy being wanted because it's like, it's like people play hard to get with their babies. They're like, once they show up, they're like, you have to behave. It's like, if only all these babies knew how hard these parents are trying and building the room. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
No.
So that's how I wanted to be baby, but like not in the family dynamic, but in the like I'm wanted and they prepared a space for me, not in a creepy way. Yeah. Like it sounds creepy because there's no way to when you say baby and sex, but you know what I mean is being cared for and loved unconditionally
in an adult relationship.
Yes, consensually. Yes. So
they held space for you.
Yes, but you want to hear what's wild is this couple I dated. This ties it back to astrology. Their sun signs were Leo and Capricorn, which are exactly my parents' sun signs. Like the woman was a Capricorn, the man was a Leo, my mom is a Capricorn, my dad is a Leo. I did not know that until like we were dating for like a month. Wild. It was wild. But I loved it. It felt like being a contractor in the relationship. Like I knew what I was getting into. It's like, you know, when you sign that like W-2 or whatever, what is it? W-4. What's the one that's
W-4?
The
1099s.
The year, no taxes.
W-2s, right? Or W-4s, whatever.
All those things. You just knew the time.
I didn't do my taxes.
There was a reason you were there.
Like, no, she's done her taxes.
I paid someone to do my taxes. Yeah. It was like a 1099. Like I wanted the company to succeed. Yeah. But I didn't need to have like that 5-year plan or performance reviews.
Yeah, you didn't need to see it go through being public. You know, you just needed to get it to that one point, and then we
were public. They came to my birthday party.
When I say public, I meant as like
IPO. You're right. IPO. Well, that's true. I was allowed to. There was not a non-compete clause. You know, like they came to my birthday party. I introduced them to people. Another guy I was dating was at my birthday, and like they came as a couple. So there was no like, you have to be with us.
She's a freelancer.
It was so sweet. I was a freelancer. Yeah,
good for you.
I say this in my comedies, but I literally was able to tap out of a blowjob in the middle of sex and I not feel bad about it. You know, like usually I try to be generous, but if it's like, you guys are partners, you know how to handle this.
You have someone to cover your shift.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm good. Like, you want to step in? If not, we're just going to be done with it. So, you know.
It's not a bad setup.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Well, then you might like this because this is another thing that happened. We were all like, you know, we went on a lovely date. So that's the other thing too. Whatever people are looking for, no shame to that. That's fine. But I specifically sought out like a loving relationship, which is a wild thing to do on a threesome app. I found them on a threesome app. Like I said, I want to be loved, and I said I want to be respected, which is not usually what people say. I mean, I think we do want that. But that helped me.
Because some people are like, I want
to be a unicorn, or they want to feel like sexual.
Yeah.
Whereas I really wanted to feel loved, And like, who doesn't like sex? So I wanted to feel loved, but sex was like, duh. But
right, that was like part of the package deal.
Yeah, so they would take me out to these nice dinners. Like we would have conversation. We'd talk about like Ariana Grande, who I love. Yeah. And just drink wine. Like it was so nice. It was really, really sweet. They would like check in on my like be like, oh, how's that project going? Like things like that. Cute. We were in a group chat. It was so nice.
Love it.
But yeah, so we had sex once and this actually happened. I thought it was so funny. Like he finished and then I looked into her eyes and we laughed. I mean, I didn't initiate the laugh. I was respectful. But once, like, you know, it's like when you enter someone's house, you respect the rules. You take off the shoes or you don't, or whatever, you wear the sandals. So they were laughing. That's how they communicate. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Of course, then he was done. And then me and her got to hang out and, you know, she brings out her toys or whatever. She had this woman, like, she was like, so the other weird thing is like, I was in between ages of them, like exactly in the middle. Yeah. Like literally like, I think she was like 23, he was 37, I was like 29 or 30, like literally exactly. Yeah. Cool. Wild. Like I turned 30 when I met them. They came to my 30th birthday. And yeah, so it was like, for sure the universe was like, here, solve your mommy issues, you know, like, and that's not what I was looking for. Like just to be, and there's nothing wrong with that's what you want. You know, you want to play mommy or baby, but like, I genuinely was like, I just want to like come and feel loved. And then it turned out that the perfect match was, I mean, they didn't look like my parents or anything, but
they didn't look like your parents, but they have the same
a lot
star
of
energy.
Just a lot of like energy. And then she like had this bag of you know, toys, dildos, whatever, dicks. That I called it a bag of dicks. Yeah, more dicks in there than like men I've slept with. So I just was like so impressed. As a 22, I'm like, Gen Z has got it, you know.
It's an arsenal.
Like,
love
yeah,
it.
To get to that point, I'm like, she must have been in many queer relationships and really like supported by men and women and, you know, in between.
She's supporting a full industry.
Yeah. So I was like very impressed and it was cool. So I've tried to do that joke on stage before, like, oh, the bag of dicks, and straight men, I forget sometimes they have no idea. They just assume we scissor. They think that's how.
Yeah.
They do.
They're like, what? Yeah. Why would you have dicks? You chop them off? Like, it's like, no. No, honey.
No, they were purchased. Did you chop them off?
No, they probably last longer than yours.
It depends on the batteries, you know.
The battery life. Yeah.
Some of them don't need batteries. We've got strap-ons.
That's true.
And I'm all
batteries on the hips.
Yeah.
That battery doesn't go out. Oh.
Solar energy.
Yeah.
Lunar. It's very what?
So the relationship lasted for, you said, like 2 months ish, like a real contractor job.
Yeah, it kind of fizzled out in that I was in my like trying to be slutty for love, if that makes sense. Like in between my breakup, where I dated this guy for like 3 years, and then, but it was like kind of like on and off. But the last real time was like about a year. And it ended very poorly. And then I did like, for real, like a 6 month, like actual, like really going through therapy. At one point I had like 4 therapists. I was like, my team is working hard for me. And it wasn't like, I always have to explain because people are like, why? That's too many. But one was for EMDR, which is a very specific type of trauma therapy. And then one was a group therapist for specifically narcissistic relationships. And then I had my psychiatrist and my regular therapist.
You did have a real team.
It was a lot. I was working hard, you know.
It is hard
I deserved
work.
those dicks.
Yeah. The entire bag.
I earned them. I earned my bag of dicks. But so that's when I got back on the apps, like after I felt good. So I like got on Raya, I got on Hinge, I was like on Field, and I dated this couple, and then I dated another guy, and I dated another woman. And so they were these short-lived, but like healthy, consensual, like we, you know, there's an end and a beginning.
Yeah. Clear.
Yeah. So that was around that time. So I was like, I call it slutty for love, because I was really trying out what it would be like to genuinely be like, I'm here for a relationship, but not deceive myself into thinking it has to work no matter what. So when we reach that 2-3 month point, you know, when I'm like, okay, this is fun, but probably not going to marry or whatever. Like that's a lot to put, but like, that's where I was like, am I going to like be with you in 5 years without actively, it's so weird to say that, it scares people, but you usually have a feeling if you're like, do I want to like, am I excited about thinking about celebrating a New Year's Eve with you? You know what I mean? Like that's an easier way to put it, because I'm not thinking I need to be with you for 10 years. I'm just thinking like, do I get excited about like life moments? Thinking, are you there? So the dumb one I think of is like, because people always think about walking down the aisle, I'm always like imagining doing my first late night set, and I'm imagining like, does this person in the green room with me? Because sometimes it's like that's a comedy independent, like I did it and this is my life. And if you love someone, they should be everywhere, but they don't have to be. But sometimes that makes me be like, no, I don't want them there. And then I'm like, oh, then it's not the thing.
I would be ashamed to have you in the green room with me.
Not ashamed. But you know what I mean?
It's like, sorry, that's my dating history.
Like separation. Like you kind of want to be like, don't take away. This isn't about me, our love. It's about my fucking boss ass career, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my boyfriend's the first person I've been with that like I genuinely am like filling him in on stuff like that, which is cool.
Love hot
I say we have a lesbian relationship because we've literally, I feel like, had lesbian sex. Like I'm like the frat boy, like it just goes for hours, and like I found his clit is what I say, but I literally feel like I've hacked his dick into a clit, and I mean this with all respect because I love clits and dicks, but generally I don't like dicks that much. But I love your dick, baby. I love it. Okay. Just yours. Okay.
Hot boyfriend.
Okay, so you guys are having good sex.
Yeah. It feels like, it's the kind where you feel like you're like time traveling and it's like, whoa, you know, I can't explain it. Back besides
to astrology.
Yes. And you're like
back in the stars.
Literally quantum leaping.
The stars always align.
There was one time, like, I'll make him laugh too because I have no filter when I'm high. Sometimes I'll be high and, you know, we'll get it on. And then one time I was straight up like imagining I was giving birth. Like, we were just fooling around. We weren't like in the middle of sex, but like we were both naked. And I was like, oh, when I have your baby, like, and it wasn't me. It wasn't like actively like, I want to have your baby. It was just so natural. Like my body was like, it felt like I time traveled and I had a baby. So then I was like, when I have your baby, it'll be like this. And then he started laughing, but I was like, yeah, that was crazy. But then I was like, but it will be. And he's like, you're right, it will. I was like,
hot boyfriend.
Yeah, so he's very hot in all the ways.
So kids, babies.
Yeah, dogs.
Oh,
dogs, babies, human babies. What do you got?
I got a fur baby. I did throw him a 5-year-old birthday party. He has more friends than me. My dog has more friends than me.
Like, as he should.
Like he goes on play dates. I will organize dates for my dog. When I go walking with him in the neighborhood, he'll meet other dogs, a couple of them. Like there's like a couple on his block, Deku, Buster. Like these are dogs that like he sees and they know each other and they're excited. And then we have to like exchange numbers to be like, when is Deku free to play? Like he is very, very social. He is a support animal. Great. Which I know I live in LA and people are like, really? And you know, I'm wearing crystals, so. But people get upset and then I always feel like bad about bringing him in because I know that like you're not supposed to ask, but then I really want to prove it. But then at the same time, I'm like, no, you're supposed to believe me. But one time a guy in a Target did like ask, he was like, really, is he? And then it made me think, I was like, you know what? Even if he's not, like, I know that this dog contains the souls of multiple people I've lost emotionally, you know, like he's like a Horcrux and that's why I do need to carry him around. And this guy was just like, yeah, you obviously like have mental issues. Take him in, please. Take this other woman's dog too. Yeah. He was prescribed by my therapist, but I do sometimes think he does contain a lot of spirits.
You're speaking to the right.
Yeah, this is yes, audience.
You're here. Yeah,
the correct audience for this.
He'll come up to me when I'm having panic attacks and like growl, but like in a way where he's like trying to snap me out, and then he'll make me take him outside even if he doesn't have to pee, and then he'll just like he knows. Yeah, he knows.
Since he was prescribed by therapy, though, does he come insurance cover? Yeah, is he covered?
No, but he is cheaper than rehab, so
fair.
Paying for himself.
Yeah, honestly, truly. Wow.
What's his name?
Wushu. It's named after Chinese martial arts, Wushu. One time I walked him and a non-Chinese guy, well, he's white, but he,
there we go.
In Atwater stopped me and asked his name and I was like, it's Wushu. And he's like, did you know Wushu is a form of martial arts? I was like, oh, really? And he's like, yes. And then he was trying to explain it to me and he apparently studied martial arts. And I was like, no, I know. That's what he's named after. Duh.
Wasn't by mistake. Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. So
a white guy on the east side of LA trying to explain a different culture to you. Love that. I
bet you his mind will be blown with astrology too. So you brought us a comedy hottie. So who is your hottie?
My comedy hottie, Jes Tom. I know you said up and coming, but honestly, I feel like Jes. I love Jes and. They're in New York. They're super funny comic, but they opened for me before. But then now I feel like they're bigger than me. So really, they should be calling me the hot comic. But no, Jes super hot. Check them out at Jes the Kid, JesTheKid.
Great.
Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah, we'll plug everything in. But you're the hot comic. You're not a hottie.
Yeah,
you are hot.
Okay.
Yeah, because you physically walked in here really
Sweating.
hot.
It is hot in hot Atlanta.
We gave her ice packs.
They were concerned.
Yes. We gave her ice packs.
This is true. Yeah, they revived me.
But we made it.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you
so much for coming.
Thank you.
And we'll plug all the stuff. Bye.
We'll cut it back. Cut it.
We're cutting. Bye.
Thanks for being here. Bye.
Oh. All right. Awesome. We hope you enjoyed Teresa Lee.
She was great. I learned so much about her
I
in like
know.
a very short amount of time.
I know. We just met her because she's touring on the East Coast and she's based out of Los Angeles, which is where I've lived for a very long time. So we have a lot in common. That being the woo-woo, the astrology, the woo-woo. So, but you can check out her album. Yep. She has an album that's available on Spotify or anywhere you can stream things. It's called We're Still Doing This.
And you can follow her travels as well. She's on Instagram at Teresa Lee Bot, as well as teresaleecomedy.com to find out where she's touring to next.
And her podcast is You Can Tell Me Anything.
And you should definitely check that out because we had some confessions on there too.
Yeah. So thank you so much for listening. I'm Lisandra Vazquez.
And I'm Brandi Unger.
And you can find us, all of our information on the show notes. Follow us at Hot Comics Pod on the Instagram. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.